In my last video, I showed this wine bottle that opens into a full 3D keepsake. The real question is, how does one even come up with something like this? The idea actually started during a girls' weekend in Santa Ynez. Anytime I'm doing something meaningful with people that I care about, my first thought is, what can I make to commemorate this occasion? It usually turns into the perfect gift for everyone involved. Since we are in wine country, the idea of a wine bottle just made sense. I could have made the entire thing out of paper, which would have been totally doable. But I had recently learned 3D design and bought a 3D printer, so I decided to use that for the bottle instead. Because of the shape of the wine bottle, making it out of plastic not only gives it that smooth, realistic look, but also makes it much more durable. Once the shape was finalized, the next challenge, figuring out how to make it open. The most natural solution was to split the bottle in half so it could sit on a shelf either opened or closed. From there, I needed a clean way to keep it closed. I chose magnets, embedding them into small cylindrical cavities along the inner edge of the bottle. With the outside figured out, the next question was, what happens on the inside? How do you take something cylindrical, like a wine bottle, and design it so it opens up and actually tells a story? And how do you make that inside feel just as interesting as the outside? When I'm designing something like this, I always want to include a photo of the group, a name of where we were, the date, and key moments from the trip. Since your eyes naturally read from left to right, I placed Santa Ynez on the left side. That panel stays stationary, and I layered photos behind the name to add depth. I also had a really great photo of all of our wine glasses, so I added that to the top of the insert. Every project I create includes some kind of interaction. I don't want it to just sit there. I want people to experience it. So the right side is where I built that in. I kept the cylindrical theme going and designed a rotating centerpiece with photos on it. Each of us had a photo from the horseback ride we took, and being able to spin that element makes the whole piece feel more interactive. From there, it became about fitting in as many memories as possible. One of my favorite ways to include a lot of photos is by creating a small, wallet-sized photo album, almost like a mini magazine. In this case, I designed the miniature version of the Santa Ynez Valley magazine. Since I wanted that to be a focal point, I created a panel to hold it so it's the first thing you see when you open the bottle. My initial idea was to build a pocket for it, but that added too much thickness and the bottle wouldn't close. So I switched to use elastic, wrapping it around and securing it to the back of the panel. That's really where the structural problem solving comes in. When one approach doesn't work, adapt and find something that does. Once I had that in place, I still wanted more space to show photos. So I designed a flap that folds down with additional panels that fold out from there. That way you don't see everything at once. You keep discovering more as you open it. I really believe the details are what makes a project stand out. I added a label designed to look like a real wine bottle label, customized with Girls' Weekend and the date. I included a real cork, and when I noticed some empty space above the spinning cylinder, I decided to add a miniature wine bottle and glasses. Luckily, I found those on Amazon pretty easily. I love incorporating real miniature items into my projects. It adds that extra level of realism and charm. In the next video, I'll walk you through some of the techniques I used to build this, so you can start applying them to your own projects. Please like, share, and subscribe.